Good evening everyone, this is the Great Pumpkin speaking and welcome to this new stream of Final Fantasy XIV. Tonight we're going to be doing our first 3 dungeons with Kukumo as a tank. So we'll be starting with the Sastasha Seagrot. Let's do this. We'll be queued for Sastasha. Shouldn't take too long, but while we're waiting, I'm actually going to be having us switch to Record Keeper. So just give me a sec there to set it up. And we're back! So what I've been doing for the most part in Record Keeper these days is trying to break into 4-star Magicets. I've cleared quite a few of them, although I need to power up my Magicet deck. So right now I've been, for the most part, farming Malaris. So you'll be getting a glimpse of my updated water team. Water isn't exactly my best element, but it's okay. As you can see, I've upgraded my deck with 4-star Magicets here from the water one, and I've swapped around a few abilities. So overall, I'm doing alright. Still not enough for sub 30 though. Anyway, so we're gonna get started. Malaris, record of 34 seconds, not as good as I'd like. Anywho, shouldn't take too long being a tank. Apparently we're just missing a healer right now. So there's probably a chance that we'll just start Malaris and then need to get back to it once we are off to the second dungeon. Anywho, I sped it up because I was doing record dungeons earlier. So let's see if I remember how to do this. That's right, buff up Shelke. Okay, use Fabula Guardian. Buff up everybody with Forbidden Power. Life Siphon on Bart. Shelga on Ilara. Rat again with Shelke, who is Legend Dive, which means that she can actually get Bart started right off the bat, which is good. And our shield is up. Cool. And that will buff up our physical damage. Sweet. She's not doing so much damage to me given that I'm using fire resistance equipment, so you know. Okay, she does this instantly, which means Barts can go into Chosen Traveler, and we can get Yuffie started with Reflecting Pool. Onion is going to use Protecga. Well, I suppose we can use a Magica Album. We're in no hurry, but still. Better not take any chance, you know? Anywho. Malaris is actually the version of the Fire Elemental field from Final Fantasy IX, for those who aren't aware of it. Although I figure most people are by now. They've probably been constantly annoyed with people thinking they know more than you do about the series. Oh well. Oh, but apparently we are ready. Cool. So let me just swap this around for a sec. And here we are. Let's get going. As per usual, we'll be watching the cutscenes once we are done here. Given that the people have actually done these dungeons a bunch of time, we're gonna try not to aggravate them too much. I might be a little rusty though. Hi! Sastasha is actually fairly easy, so we'll see. Alright, let's get going. Okay, those are the last ones. We ought to be fine with that for the most part. From what I'm seeing as far as aggro goes, we are mostly fine. Whoops. Gotta remember to use the right move. Okay. I changed my buttons recently, so I'm a little confused at the moment. Samurai without AOE skills. Whatever are they talking about? And there is this thing here that I need to have a look at. That's the bloody memo. By looking at it, you can actually know which color it is. It's red. Alrighty. They seem to be alright with bigger pulls, so that should be fine. Oh, were there other stuff on this one? I forget. Yes, there were. Good. Anything else? Nope, that seems to be pretty much it. We don't seem to have so much in the way of AoE, so maybe pulling so many doesn't change much for us. Well, anywho, we'll do what we can anyway. Oops, I lost him for a second there. Okay, good. Okay. These I'll need to take through the old way. Those are actually pretty easy. They're just little things that pops from the clam. So you just need to deal them a few damage and you'll be fine. The DPS should, for the most part, focus on taking down the clam, so that these don't spawn anymore. Alright. Let's go. The other one too. Alright. Hey you. Ah, that's smart DPS, going right for the clan. You might not see me pay too much attention to the chat, not that there's anyone here anyway. But either way, I'm mostly focused on the dungeon right now. After all, I need to tank it. Okay. Was that away? That thing. Come on. Basically what tanking those low level dungeons is all about, really. It's mostly about, you know, keeping the mobs on you, keeping them looking away from the party proper, and after that, that's pretty much it. I ate these. Come on. Alright. You can swap through them if you're not so sure that you've still got a enmity, so you shouldn't really have much problems with these. And my healer is keeping up nicely, although she seems to be much higher level than she should be. Although I got hit by that paralysis thing, which was just me being an idiot. Okay. She soon on me, so I should be mostly fine. Oh lovely, more of these. I'm not even sure I'm actually going in the right way. I'm used to the tank actually knowing where he goes, and this time, that's me. Okay, well, we can probably just go ahead and pull those. Alrighty. Red coral. Make sure that everybody's in. They are. Switch. Alright, hon. Hey, you. Get back here. Those bosses are actually fairly easy, given that they are beginner's dungeon, but still, you shouldn't be too complacent. As especially the last one will get you if you're not careful. Here I would normally want to try to stun him, but I wasn't quick enough. Alright. Get your treasure chest. Nothing I can use, so greed. And use the switch. Let's go. Cello Claw Reavers. And Scurvy Dogs. Yeah, and the rest is just another boss rat afterward. So we should be fine. Her standing so close to me, though, isn't such a great idea. Ah, she's gonna keep doing that, huh? That's exactly why I moved, lady. Another level. Although if you get too high level, then you're gonna get synced to the max level for that particular dungeon, so... Right here, that's not really helping me much. Okay, everybody's in. I'm taking that lady's gonna be switching to Vieira once the next expansion comes in. People like those. Well, that's okay. To everyone their own, I say. So here we've got Captain Madison, not a whole lot to worry about. He's a fairly basic, shall we say, tank and spank mob, so... Basically, just keep things on you and you'll be fine. If you're a DPS, then just, you know, nuke things. When you know you've got Ting firmly in hands, you can actually switch to Riot Blade. That'll deal a little more damage and help you recover your MP a little. Still, doing a few Savage Blades now and then would help. And given that he's a coward, he gets away pretty much immediately. Okay. This one can be a little more difficult, but with this group, I'm not so sure. So I think we're gonna try to go easy here. Okay, they're mostly focusing on this one, so let's try to keep him there. Still, Vieira Samurai. That's a strange mental image. Okay. We're good. Now those guys. And we've got that other guy that I missed. Okay. That's the one who's being hit the most. And I've used my shield because I swapped my abilities before the stream, so I'm a little confused at the moment. Ah. Okay, good. Got a little worried because I saw my health going down pretty quickly. Alright. Catch the key, that's the important part. And then go into the captain's quarter. And beat up that guy. He's basically a slightly stronger pirate. Still, you should be prepared for whatever this guy has for you. Frankly, I'm not even sure he's gonna try to overpower. At the moment, keeping enmity is Gladiator isn't so bad, but as you get higher in level, it gets more challenging until you get some key abilities. So, you know. Okay, attacking this one, that's fine. Still got them under control. One thing that might happen is that sometimes DPS have a tendency to split their damage through various mobs. Usually you'd want DPS to focus on a single mob to reduce the number of stress that is being put on you, but that's not always the case, or sometimes it's just more efficient to hit different mobs at once. So you gotta keep a close eye on which mob is actually losing damage, and then try to control their enmity as they get damaged. Okay, everybody's here, let's pull. Okay, that Reaver is gonna die pretty quickly. Which, by the way, they mentioned that this place might be filled with Serpent Reavers. Those guys are actually Serpent Reavers. They're identified by a special serpent tattoo on their face. I'll explain why they are called such once we get to the last boss. Okay. These things are happening, so I should get ready. Hey, you. Alright, got him under control. So yeah, basically throughout the fight, this guy will summon his dogs. And Madison is scurrying away. Too bad. Alright. Get your chest and be on your way. Was something I wanted to check. Okay, that's good. Okay, this is a little trickier. This place has a lot of dudes. Actually, I think we're gonna take them one group at a time. I'm not particularly comfortable at the way the ads are arranged in here. And given the fact that most of them are archers, well, that will make things easier for me. Okay, we should be good. Let's go. In fact, you actually don't need to take out all of the mobs in this section. You could if you're actually looking for more XP, but you don't need to. As you've seen, I didn't really need to taunt anybody during this run, so that's cool. And I'm also blinding him while using my flash, so that's good. That's what I do, I flash people. Hehe. Alright, last boss. Didn't take very long, maybe 15 minutes. And our boss is a giant Sahagin. So, how do we do that? Countdown. Let's go. Okay, Now there is actually something special about this fight, and it's those unnatural ripples throughout the arena. Well, actually, at some point you'll get a prompt that tells you that the water is bubbling under there. And if people don't activate them as they would any object, well, they'll end up summoning more Sahagin around the arena. Although a lot of groups actually ignore them entirely and just, you know, keeps hitting the boss until he's dead, because he dies pretty quickly. That said, I'll need to catch any Sahagin that actually shows up, so I need to be on my A-game here. But it seems that they've caught most of them. I'll just need to get that Beline guard here, and we'll be good. Was there a second one? No. It was just one of my esteemed allies. Now here I would actually have access to a limit break, which I forgot to actually set up, but in the end it's actually not very beneficial, as tank limit breaks only reduces damage, so there's not really much point in using them except in very specific instances or very high-hand duties. For instance, Alexander used to have a mandatory one. And that's it for that dude. And this guy is pretty much the reason why they're called the Serpent Reavers. It's because the Serpent Reavers are actually trolls of the Primal Leviathan. So, as expected, they are rather, how can I say, an antagonistic group to the people of Eorzea. Especially to Limsa Lominsa. I forgot to set up my emotes. I'll need to take care of that. Oh well. So there's our last pal. And off we go. And I got commendation. Better than nothing. Okay, there was a guy during the fight that actually told the other people to actually just keep DPSing the boss. That's actually fairly likely, that's usually how it's done. So anyway, there's Badaron, the guy who gave us that quest. So these guys, huh? Aye, such a task was on the books. Was, mind. I'm afraid that ship has already sailed, friend. Hi there. Dolorous Bear. Ah, might you be the adventurer who accepted the job of investigating Sastasha? Yeah, that's right. It would seem that ship has not only sailed, but now returns to harbor. None the worse for its voyage. A pity. We dragged our boots too long on this one. Imanafa. No matter. The wheel will turn and our chance will come. You're right, of course. But there shall be no rest till we have attained our goal, lofty though it may be. Not a wink of sleep, great leader, Kihina. Our aim, lest you wonder, is to perform such feats of heroism as will earn us a place in the songs of every Halehouse in Eorzea. We mean to write a legend which will inspire adventurers as yet unborn to follow our shining example. Do you have such a goal, large or small? It matters not. Only have a star to reach for, and you will reach higher. Purpose can sustain you through times of hardship. Keep your eyes on the prize, and all obstacles will be overcome in time. You would not think to stride into battle unclad, would you? Well, goals are as arms and armor for the spirit. I wish you fortune in your endeavors, sir. How nice of him. Bye-bye. Back then, are you? With all your limbs and a tale to tell, I'll wager. Yes, Lala explanations. Fishbacks? And there I was thinking you'd only have to crack a pirate's collar tree. 7 hells. You turn your back for 5 bloody minutes and the scaly bastards set up shop on your bleeding doorstep. Still, sounds like you left them in pieces, so I don't suppose they'll be carrying out whatever mischief they was planning, unless they was planning on feeding themselves to the fauna of Sastasha, of course. Any roads. All's well that ends well. On behalf of Limsa, I thank you for shedding some light on this mystery. You have lived up to your reputation, and I couldn't ask for no more than that. Now, I'll bet you're dying for a rest, but just in case you're not, I was wondering if you might be interested in taking on another job. Just so happens that I've had a request from our sister guild in Gridania, see? Seems the forest folks are in need of an adventurer. What can get things done? For them to ask for help like this, you can bet the task won't be no skip through a sunny glade. But after the way you dealt with our fishback infestation, I doubt it's anything you can handle. Give us a shout when you're ready, and I'll lay it out for you. Okay. Party Finder unlocked. So yeah, Party Finder is actually a tool that allows you to actually find groups for specific contents. It's mostly used to find groups for extreme primals or savage and whatnot, although you can use it for hunts and whatnot. Anyway, Call of the Forest Baderon has information on a new task. Ready to hear about that job then? Like I said, the request comes from our sister guild in Gridania. And that's all I know, but whatever it is you get asked to do, I somehow doubt it poses any trouble for a venturer that has survived the bedlam in Sastasha. If you think you might be interested, you'll want to have words with Mother Miyun, me counterpart in Gridania. Good luck, mate. Well, that's nice. Now one thing we're gonna do is actually talk to that innkeep here, Maitason. Greetings, lad. What can I do for you this fine evening? We're gonna retire to an inn room. Have a nice rest. Gahaha. And the reason for that is that we'll have a look at the cutscenes that we've missed in Sastasha. But let's do that. You get access to those rooms in every single city-state, so just speak to an innkeeper and you'll be allowed to get there. You'll notice that the Serpent Reavers are actually keeping quite a few hostages in there. Mostly maidens, mind you, but you know. And the one where we encountered the fishback. Psh! You sully our spawning grounds, Shorewalker! Not very nice, is he? Was gonna ask for help for the Sahagin. He didn't care for that. And down for the count. Duty complete! Ah! And that's it for this one. Off to our next task. Whoops. Surely I can just teleport. Why make things complex when they can be easy? Here we can also find a few interesting quests, among others I think Rising to the Challenge and Beauty is Only Scalp Deep. I think those, if I'm not mistaken, is to unlock the Esthetician, which allows you to change your haircut among other things from your character. So that can be helpful. The challenge one I think will direct you here in Gridania to speak with Jonatas, who will unlock challenge logs among others. And there's Mother Miyun. Take a seat wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come to take your... Oh, not here to dine. There I hope that you're the adventurer Baderon sent word about. You are! The matron be praised. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Miyun, and the Caroline Canopy is my place. With regards to the task in question, there is a fair bit to tell. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details, and I shall brief you. That's nice. So we got a few potions in either. That's fine. Let's try to get a closer look at the lady. Fire in the gloom. Miyun is waiting to brief you on your task. And yet again, the counters are too high for me. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and short of it. Beg pardons for interrupting, Miyun, but our needs grow ever more pressing. Have none stepped forward? Lewin. And good evening to you too, Bowlord. Your need must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. The good news is, your journey hasn't been wasted. I'm pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. That's Lewin, the Bowlord. If I'm not mistaken, he's the guy in charge of the God's Bow, who are the people who watch for external threats within Gridania. My thanks for answering the call, friend. My name is Lewin, and I lead the men and women of the God's Quiver. Oh, it was God's Quiver, not God's Bow. Anyhow, now, time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridania in the bud. Beneath the central shroud, there lies an underground burial site called the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. The place was once a Gilmoran settlement, but we Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been seen skulking about the Deepcroft, and with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamid, a doomsday cult which has sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, I would have dispatched my best men to scour the Deepcroft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep the Ixal at bay. The Ixal being the Birdmen beastmen in Gridania. The Birdmen have grown restless of late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I have been compelled to spread our forces throughout the Twelveswood, lest we be taken unawares. The situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the Lambs of Dalamid. Can we rely on you to undertake this task, friend? Sure. You have my gratitude. Once you have seen through your preparations, pray make your way to the Deepcroft, and identify yourself to the guards posted at the entrance, who will appraise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. Now, the Lambs of Dalamid, I don't know too much about them, but I know a little, if that's worth anything. Okay, Central Shroud is at White Wolf Gate. Okay, so basically, if I understand right, there were a group that actually worshipped the second moon, Dalamid. However, as we know, the moon was revealed to have actually been the prison of the Elder Primal Bahamut. So this has led to a few... shall we say, a bit of confusion, given that for the most part they actually seems to be worshipping or using Void Sense, who are some sort of demons in this particular game. So I'm not entirely sure what they follow now, and they haven't really expanded on them much since A Realm Reborn. There are a few public quests about them and whatnot, but we don't see much really. For the most part, they're just busy summoning Void Sense and whatnot. That's one of those times where I'm actually saddened by the fact that I didn't get the chance to actually play the original Final Fantasy XIV. What? You stand before the White Wolf Gate. The region beyond is rife with danger, and I'm not authorized to pass untried adventurers like yourself. So how am I supposed to get there, then? Jeez. Oh, I can go through the Blue Badger's Gate, that's right. Central Shroud is actually divided into two sections, and they're trying to keep you away from a certain section until you're actually high enough in level. That explains it. Now let me just check to my emotes here. Goodbye and wave. I don't have my special greetings emote, but that's fine. Mapping the realms, Central Shroud. And here we are. That would be where the adventurers who start in Gridania would go in the beginning. And turns out that this place is actually pretty far. So we'll be heading over to Bend Branch in order to get there. I haven't explored much. I might need to look through those various zones. I've attuned to pretty much all of the Aetherytes that I needed to for Limsa as well as Gridania, but I didn't bother going outside to the particular towns. But them's the breaks, kids. Pretty sure I've mentioned that, but yeah, pretty much you can see that the various storylines are starting to collide here. In a sense, even if you started in Gridania or Limsa, you'd actually be starting with Sastasha as a dungeon regardless, and you'd be doing the two subsequent ones anyway. Afterward, we're going to be sent back to Tanland to take care of some other business, as would every other adventurers. Gridania is a nice place, which is why I usually suggest it as a starting point, although Limsa is also interesting in its own way, if you like pirate stories. Limsa feels kind of like a wild frontier of sorts, with columnists trying to establish themselves and whatnot. Gridania is a little more traditional, what with them protecting their territories from external threats. The Twelves Wood is considered by the Elezen, as well as other inhabitants of Gridania, to be sacred in a sense, so outsiders aren't particularly welcome, and they are mostly content of staying within the Twelveswood proper. They are under the protection of spirits called the Elementals, and the Padjals, as well as conjurers, actually tend to them, because when the Elementals get angry, well, bad things happen, like giant trees whacking people and whatnot. Anywho, we're nearly there to the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. And off we go. Got the Dynamite here, who made the mistake of attacking us. It's not pretty though. We're going to see more of those once we get to Totorak. Oh, there are those guys. Isildur. Huh. He's the same guy that we've been seeing within the Scions, huh? Pant. Childish curiosity prompted me to commit the most elementary of blunders. Were it not for the fruit that Alien found, my adventures may well have ended in this forbidding place. Always look before you leaped. In my haste, this most fundamental rule of adventuring slipped my mind. I do believe I shall rest here a while. I shudder to think what might have happened to Isildur had I not thought to pick the fruit I stumbled across on the way here. Sometimes he has too much vigor for his own good. Age is supposed to mellow us, but if anything, it has made him more impetuous. I understand his desire to make use of the time left to him, but one misstep and there won't be any. Kikina. Think of our goal, sister. One day our adventures will be the stuff of song, and it will all be worth it. Banafa. Gods, I hate mausoleums. It's not right to disturb the dead in their slumber. There's Dolores Bear. So we meet again. I can't say I'm surprised to see you here. You took the prize back in Limsa, but this time we will give you better sport. Or I'm no true adventurer. Well, good luck with that. There are a few magic bones around here, which you may need to take down if you're doing some of the hunting logs. But here we just need to speak with this guy here, the God's Quiver Bow. You're Kukumo Lalakumo, I take it. Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bow Lord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deepcroft and purge it of the Lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the calamity put an end to the 6th Astral Era. The cultists took the lesser moon, Dalamud, for their god, believing that would deliver them from the devastation. And so they were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Now, having seen their god turn to ash, one would think that the cultists might feel moved to question their fate. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fanaticism. The Lambs of Dalamud are convinced that heretics, that is to say everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Whatever it is they're doing in the Deepcroft, you may be sure that no good will come from it. For the sake of Gridania and Eorzea at large, put an end to their madness. Well, that's nice. He's actually explained the thing that I didn't know too much about, so that's good. Anyway, we've got the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. Now we're going to be switching again to Record Keeper. Alright, so let's resume where we were. Okay, well, I'm using my Octomammoth Magicite to deal some damage to her and boost my water damage. And I'll have Onion Knight use Water Veil. Bartz can attack with Engulfing Quarter Strike, and Shilke can rat another turn. As for Yuffie, I'm going to use Freewheeling Reflection. I feel that this should be part of my particular plan in this. That way I can get her started quicker on the bigger moves. Elara is going to heal, and I'm not going to take much damage from whatever he's doing. Alright. Okay, things are going a little fast, so I was a little worried there. The nice thing about ninjutsu moves is that they completely ignore the boss's resistance, so I'm actually doing more damage than if I would be using black magic here. Entrust to Yuffie. And unfortunately, the Tam-Tara Deepcroft is ready, so let's get going. It's gonna be tough for you guys to follow the track of the fight with Malris, huh? Well, I'm not even sure we're gonna finish it. This is just to keep you guys entertained while I wait. Hi! Alrighty. Protect is up. Let's be on our way. Okay, just making sure that they're following. Okay, good. Oh, we've got those valets here. Alright, let's keep going and get those fleshy swarms while we're at it. Alright. Ouch. Might need to be gentle with this particular healer. I've gotten access to Convalescence, which is cool. All right. Let's get that valley. And that beetle. Okay, that should do. My nose itches. I don't know. Healer looks unreliable, but so far he hasn't missed a beat, so... I don't remember. I don't think that other room is required. But this one is. Okay. So first boss here. Or rather sub-boss in a sense. Okay. Now let's get going. Let's go. Alright. There's our boss. He voids soul counter. Not a whole lot to say about this guy, he's fairly simple really. This is actually a mob from the original Final Fantasy XI, so... that's actually a nice callback to it. Really, this game is supposed to be the spiritual successor to that particular game. But it was quite different. I'm told that you actually needed to be in a group to level that at all, so that would be annoying, especially to me. I like soloing. So, what we got, not particularly good, and we use the cultist orb to remove that. This will be required for what we'll be doing afterwards. Okay. Nightlings. This one is a tad dangerous, I'd rather not. Oops. This is a tough pull at the best of times, so having 4 more mobs at once might have been a little too much for my healer, so I'd rather not take any chance here. Even the best of people still mess it up now and then. See? Alrighty. Now which way was this? It's that way. Okay, we've got everybody. Not worth it. Thought I might pick up a few beasties while we were at it, but that doesn't seem worthwhile. There are a few chests around here which can reward you with gear and whatnot, but I don't particularly need them at the moment, so if my party members want to pick them up, then it's up to them. One thing I forgot is that I forgot to get those boiling eggs I have in order to increase the experience that I got. But no matter. Read. Okay. Let's go. Alright. Let's get that guy. Oh, hitting me with an eye for an eye. How nice of him. Or her, rather, I think. Dude, pal. Funny thing, I actually thought that the Arcanist was the healer, but that's right, Arcanists can't actually queue as healers until they've unlocked Scholar. So that's my mistake there. It's actually that Conjurer that we've got there. Could have potentially needed on it, but I don't see the need to. Alright, Yarzons. And Healer managed to get a grow. Hey you. Get here. You too. It may seem a little pointless to actually pull so many mobs, given that I am teamed up with a rogue and an arcanist. But then again, this is good practice for the healer. She's gonna encounter peoples that aren't nearly as nice as I am. Good. More Yarzons. We've lost one. Okay. We can power through to those ones. Oops. Hey you. Get here. I'm kind of losing control there. Yep, might have taken on more than I could chew here. But then again, damage was all over the place, so not a whole lot I can do. One thing to mention is that at the moment I'm actually not at my best. I'm kind of relearning how to play Gladiator, so I'm doing okay, but nothing spectacular. Okay, that one's gonna be tricky. Hey, you there! Get back here. Alright. We need to go further, I forgot about that. This section can be a little difficult, especially when you pull the mobs that were just before them. Now then. Let's try to get these fellows sorted out. Alrighty. Get that cult rosary that will allow us to get past the barrier. And get going. Rogue was a little quick. That happens. These things died quick. Damn. Now then, that thing. Whoops. The stag roll did too much Riot Blade, unfortunately. That happens. Alrighty. Cultist Orb. Read. Cultist Orb. And the final boss. And our boss will be Galvan the Dominator, a Mind Flayer. Other person is watching the cutscene, that's fine. This guy isn't particularly difficult. Basically, he'll summon mobs throughout the fight that will make him invincible. So you basically just gotta deal with them and that'll be that. Like that imp here. Like for instance, you can see that this tanking carbuncle that the Arcanist is using is actually attacking Galvant. Now usually you wouldn't want that. More of those. Quite a few of them in fact. Although only the imp is actually probably problematic here. It's a weird thing how so many enemies use a spell like water and whatever, despite the fact that conjurers actually have only one spell that actually uses water. Mind Blast, you don't want to be in there. Obviously. And that's the last ones. Now then. And get all of them, but close enough. Alright, Imp. Might be my chance to use a Riot Blade. Awesome. One thing you probably didn't notice is I am pretty sure actually in the last dungeon nobody did a DPS limit break. So I'm kinda hoping that we'll get to have one this time around. The Rogue, perhaps. Although if he keeps waiting, well, that will pass him right by. Though given that these are mostly Sprouts or New Adventurer, if you will, that's actually not surprising. That's alright. But in due time, you'll be expected to actually use them when the time is right. Bye-bye. Greed, I suppose? Yep, all Sprouts. Well, that's okay. That's what those dungeons are for. I much prefer that than high-level peoples actually having to help me out on these. Two commendations. Not bad. Could have done better, but eh. Somebody probably took pity on the healer who had to deal with me. Anywho, back to Gridania. My gills are getting much higher than they used to be, so I shouldn't have too much trouble with either rights once I run out of tickets. So that's good. Chocolate Mocha Latte, huh? Weird name for a character, although kind of clever in its own way. Anywho, off to see Mother Miyun. Maybe she'll cradle us in her bosom, huh? I'm kidding, of course. That only happens in the Lakshmi fight. Welcome back, Kukumo. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. Badaran's ringing endorsement left me in little doubt as to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Bullard Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say, it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become a never more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. Ah, as if to illustrate the point. We've seen those guys before. They were the group of adventurers outside Sastasha, and they seem rather glum. Liavin. Aver's gone, and it's all your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried! He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. You shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Ah, to hell's with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving, and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. Pio Rayo. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you've brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by way of some parting advice, get rid of Aver's head. Bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hells you like with it. But for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, alright? Poor Ada. Wait, don't leave me alone, please. I'm so sorry, ARR. Please forgive me. And we're about to be married, too. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes a dozen times in half as many days. Now, you see why I'm grateful for adventurers of your experience. I can send men like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in this task, say the word, and I will be glad to share the details with you. And that is done. Anything I can use? Not really, so might as well get the items that I can sell for money. But yeah, unfortunately, the behavior demonstrated by those adventurers who had a bad time is actually a lot like what happens to players. You'll have them blaming the healer for not managing to heal them and just storm out because the group is bad. Don't be like them. But we'll see Ida again, fortunately for her. Call of the Desert. Miyun has information on a new task. So, you're not averse to taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Memodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are, she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that we will pull through unscathed. Now, off you go, Kukumo, and good luck. Memodi would never do that. We're really tight, me and her. What can we do for you today? Retire to an inn room. We hope you have a pleasant stay. And here we are within our Gridanian room. Fairly fancy, I gotta admit, although too much wood in my opinion. But then this is Gridania. Tam-Tara Deepcroft, let's have a look. Well, ain't that ominous? The Tam-Tara Deepcroft. I kinda wish I could show you these, but I never know with what people I'm getting, and for a lot of people, they've done those dungeons 1,000 times, so... You know, trying to be polite. Who summons me from the void to reside within this crude vessel? Scary. Roar. That might make a half-decent thumbnail, given that they didn't give us much to work with the Sahagin. Duty complete. Yay! And that's it for this one. Back to Ul'dah. Can I actually teleport from here? I think not, but I'd like to be sure. Oh, I can! Sometimes I might just be misremembering things, or the fact that I've played for so long might mean that things might have changed over time. So, you know, things happen. Anyway, here we are back in Ul'dah. And off to the Adventurers Guild. I haven't made much progress with Eureka, really. I've been mostly lazy, but then again I've been fairly occupied lately, so that's to be expected. There's Memodi. Welcome to the Quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now, if you wouldn't mind showing yourself too. Oh, it's you, Kukumo. And there I was spouting the same tired line. Miyun sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. This ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to my prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started. So let's talk business, shall we? Sure will. Ash Mask, that's actually a cool little face mask if you like them. You also receive one from Gridania. If you've leveled up there, into a copper hell, Mahmoudi is waiting to brief you on your task. The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. Gods almighty, another second under that sun and I would have been set afire. Tankard the Veil, if you would be so kind. Papashan. We know him. Excellent timing, Papashan. It just so happened the adventurer who'll be handling your petition is here. Oh, why if it isn't my good friend Kukumo? It does my spirit well to know that you are the one who will be helping us. Mayhap you'd like to apprise Kukumo of his mission. Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amagina & Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as the Ikaton Shires, fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Torn Dynasty. Alas, it seems that they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trades. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. We actually know about that. We've been closed, and they told us that Copperbell was actually closed. The stone torches were keeping watch over it. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Torn Dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, my lady. The people of that age used the Ikaton Shires to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will, but as is often the way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Ikaton Shires, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels. So it was that the Great Giant Revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rising demands for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething, and be quite angry, really. How do giants survive 300 years on just rocks? Well, never mind that. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Sure. Gods bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. In case you didn't know, Copperbell Mines are in western Tanalan. Do take care, you hear? Ah, and one last thing before you depart. An employee of Magina & Sons is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell Mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. Okay. A Roga then, most likely, with a name like Painted Mesa. Ah, he's actually right here. Hey! Looking for Painted Mesa? You found him. So you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbell, are you? You've got guts, mate. I just hope you've got skills to go with them. Cause things ain't pretty down there. The Ikaton Shires left the place in a right state, and an area week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the second Ul Dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. One miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. The stone torches are keeping a watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. The hope of the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. Ain't that nice? Well, we'd be off to Western Tanalan Horizon, to be more precise. And once we are done with that busy work, we'll actually get to be put on track on the main storyline of the game, so to speak. Although then again, there are quite a few moments during the main storyline where you're just doing busy work. But this one is kind of aimless. You're kind of just going from jobs to jobs with nothing really pointing you in a way. If anything, even those beginning dungeons aren't all that great. Probably relics from the original Final Fantasy XIV, or stuff that was developed before they decided they would be sunsetting the game. So yeah. But things do get better. By the end of this and into Heavensward, dungeons actually get really interesting. Basically from the point that you get through Aurum Vale and the Praetorium, basically. And there's our stone torch, fella. There's been an incident inside Copperbell's mine, and we are here to ensure that its effects are contained, but for your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the Ikaton Shires? I didn't think that Papashan would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you say to them, the better. Make ready as best as you can and enter at will. Copperbell is another common one you see within the Duty Finder. A lot of people don't particularly care for it anymore, and we go into Copperbell right away. Well, how about that? Guess we won't get to finish Melioris, although we might do it by the end of the stream if we have time. And that's Copperbell. Hi. I thought for a second odd haircut for a Lalafell, but then again that's the same one that Lord Lorito is using. And we've got a scholar healing us. How quaint. She gets to register as a healer despite the fact that she's normally an Arcanist. Okay, people are ready. Let's do this. Oh, it's sealed. Well. We're gonna deal with them then. Copperbell is rather special in terms of bosses. It's got mechanics that we didn't really see come back anymore. We've got a tiny key which will open that sealed blasting door. Oh, we've got a monk and a dragoon. So not a whole lot of AoE then. Okay then. Pull the lever. Gotta be annoying to be a Lalafell, you're constantly staring at crotches. Alrighty. Hey there. Hi. Oh, hi! I don't think we need to go through there, we can just get straight through. Although if you are looking for chest or experience, well, that's one place to go. Could probably go get a few more. Hey you! Get here. Alrighty! Let's just hope that this scholar isn't letting his fairy do all the healing. That happens a lot, and it's kind of a cliche given that for quite a long time, scholars were actually the only healers beside White Mage, so they were kind of our rivals in a way. So I always took pleasure talking smack about scholars, especially when my guildmates actually liked them more than White Mages. Alrighty, so it's that away. Hey. Come on. There we are. Whoopsie doodle. Might be losing control pretty soon. So Spriggan. Alrighty. And there's Fire Sand. We'll need them to open the door that's right ahead. Fire Sand is meant to be kind of like black powder. It's used to make explosive, basically. I really need to learn to stun a little more. Alrighty! There's that other piece of Fire Sand. Okay, that guy knows what's what. Push the plunger, and there we are. So, first boss. Nothing really to tell here. It's a long, basically, gauntlet of little beasties that die quickly, and at some point there's a giant who shows up. That explains a lot. Ladafels have trouble looking all the way up here. As Black Mage, this is actually fairly annoying, as you can only use Scat to really damage anything before it goes on. So, not being able to use your abilities is really annoying. There's a Flambeau coming in. Nothing special there, just a special type of beasties, basically. And a way to show bombs for those who might have actually leveled in other parts of the city-states. Dude ought to be coming pretty soon. Righty, and there's the giant. Alright, you. Kotos. Immortalize. That will basically make him take less damage, but it doesn't matter since she's fairly wimpy to begin with. Alrighty. Level up. Again, I ought to be, what, level 20, 21? Okay, greed. I can use that later on with the Grand Company. Not really much point in going further, those things attack at range. Here we are. That's everybody. Let's be on our way. So let's see. 2 here and 2 Lalafels. That's rare. No Mikote, no auras. I could pull other stuff, but as I said, with the errant souls, I don't see the point. For the most part here, my eyes are mostly fixated on those buttons that tells me my level of enmity with things. That way I actually know, you know, where my bread is buttered, figuratively speaking. We are going through this way because this bomb actually gives us access to some fire sand, which will be required for the plunger later on. Okay, somebody took the fire sand, so we are good. No, that's right, there's actually another room. Forgot about that. Watching people's health can be useful as a tank, although most of the information you need to know is mostly provided by enmity. So by focusing on your own HP as well as the enmity level to make sure that all of the enemies are on you, well, that's pretty much it. All you need to do, basically. Let's go, hon. It's all you. Alrighty. We ought to be getting close to the second boss, aren't we? Yup. Giant slime. It's Dragon Quest all over again. Chorus Ire. Alrighty. Dragoon seems to know what he's doing, so I figure that he'll help me out when I need to. Doesn't sound like it. Now then. Hopefully the Dragoon will have gotten the hint. They are actually a bit of a cliche about Dragoons, given that they are a melee class and one that's used by quite a few people. Well, they have a tendency to die on their face quite often. So yeah, pretty much the cliche is that Dragoons spend all of their time being dead. Now here they would probably need to deal with that Spriggan over here, which they are not. There we go. Some Riot Blade to help me with those flash. So basically that's the point of that boss. You basically pretty much don't need much. Basically just a healer keeping the tank afloat. And beyond that, you know, just wait until they're small enough and to kill fairly easily. Hey you, get over here. Come on. Good. Alrighty. That's it. Now they're gonna die really quickly. That's an odd boss, though. They never did a repeat of that. Although there's a similar one, as it turns out, in Copperbell Hard. Because yes, there are hard versions of these dungeons, although the hard version might as well be a completely different dungeon. So yeah. We are missing some fire sand. Thanks, dude. That is done. Just need to pull that plunger. And be on our way. Okay. Now this one. I don't particularly like this place. I think we'll keep few numbers for now. Not gonna go any faster, given that we've got monks and dragoons anyway. Okay. Next. Living fossil. Whoops. Might have gotten a little ambitious there. Well, at least they've got a few down, so that should work out. I suppose it's a good thing that I don't get hit a lot, so... Because if any of those AoEs had actually hit me, well, that would have been bad. That wasn't so cheerworthy, though. Hey you, get back here. It doesn't matter if you lose a little bit of enmity and aggro, so long as you get it back, it's all good. Mistakes happen. Especially when people are damaging a lot, and especially when they're doing so all over the place. Do we need to take that? Yeah, we've got no choice. Damn it. Alrighty, last boss. As you can guess, when somebody gets past the swell, it triggers the cutscene for everybody. It is possible to disable it, though. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. So there's the dude, Gygus the Great. Not to be confused with the bust of Earthbound. Anywho, so the thing about this boss is that his mechanic is actually that he's gonna be trying to destroy a number of walls in order to actually call reinforcements. Now the thing is, normally you would be expected to actually defeat the reinforcements, but as it turns out, people have gotten into the habit of actually bursting the boss down, given that he's not that strong. Also, the fact that I have decent tank can actually fetch him whenever he needs to. Hey, you, get back here. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter. The other giants are gonna call reinforcements of their own. Yeah, I got myself hit for no reason. Oh well. Let's see why the Dragoon is so intent on positioning himself there. There's absolutely no reason for him to do so as far as I'm aware of. He should be behind like the monk is. Now the monk actually has to move. Oh, our first melee limit break. Cool. I was thinking of congratulating the healer, but I'm thinking I'm giving my commendation to the Dragoon, despite that stupidity in positioning. Goodbye. And he left just as he came in. Meh. Over here, dearies. One commendation. Expected more, but that's alright. So that's taken care of. Back to Ul'dah then. Level 22! Wow. That boost to XP under level 30 is really catching up with us, huh? Set of Premogs. Huh. It's the first time I see that. Interesting. Ah, that lovely Night Ul'dah music. I love it so. Painted Mesa. Instance battle, is it? Well then. How about that? Ah, the Conqueror of Copperbell returns. Thanks to you, our mining operations can resume, and Ulda will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. I'll share the good tidings with Papashan the next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Memodi. He'll do the woman well to see you alive and in one piece. Thanks. No! Obnoxious merchant! Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine! You stole from me! Don't even think to deny it! Desperate damsel! Please, sir, I didn't steal nothing! I bought this! Paid for it with me own coin! What rot! You refugees are all the same! Couldn't afford maggoty mole meat, much less a choice cut of dodo. I'm going to say it one more time. Give back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you never set foot in this town. Yep, he's got a bad guy haircut, that dude. By rights, I should turn you over to the brass blades, you know. Help keep the streets safe from a law-abiding citizen, but I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve in whatever capacity I require, the authorities needn't hear of your crime. We'll die at a nice place for defenseless people. Eh. But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 as me witness. Please, adventurer, help me, I beg of you. I swear on me mother's grave, I didn't steal nothing. I brought this with the coin I'd saved. I only wanted to treat me children to a decent meal. Oh. Now then, that ain't right. It's time for the little people to stick up for the little people. And who the hells are you when you're at home? This dog's master? I've had enough of this mummer's farce. You lot, teach them a lesson. We'll see about that. It's not the size of the Lalafell that matters. Off we go, filthy bodyguard. I'll take care of this, the rest of you can watch. Good luck with that, I've got plate, you've only got... Gee, I'm not even sure that's leather. Not bad for an adventurer. Get him! I should have stopped at the salmon tail. Haha, this'll learn ya. Stop bloody gawping at me, give me a hand, will ya? Oh, we'll see about that. Bam! Down you go. Now then, you can keep spamming Boo China as much as you want, but won't help. Bugger, bugger, bugger! And he's done. Down for the count, he is. And that Lalafell Blast Blade is just sitting there doing nothing. Now that's enough. I ain't getting paid enough for this. Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Thank you, kind adventurer. Thank you thrice over. Oh. Vision time. Those are the refugee camps for the Alamegans. Young city dweller, I'd swear there were more refugees than when I last looked. Concerned citizen, and you wouldn't be mistaken. But it's been 5 years since the calamity. Why are they only coming here now? It's simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, many were no longer able to support their communities. The residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes, and problems like those aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek a new life in the city. I see. But the calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? Is the same thing happening in the other cities? If the talk is true, yes. At least in Gridania, not so much in Limsa. Though perhaps our situation is more pronounced. Ul'dah has a reputation for being prosperous, so it's natural that her refugees would try their luck here first. My heart goes out to them, it truly does, but I would be lying if I said that I wasn't apprehensive. I hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Well, if things do take a turn for the worse, we always have the immortal flames. I dare say the brass blades will welcome their help. The heroes who fought the Garlean Empire, patrolling the streets with 4 riffraff. It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what this place is like. If you've no coin, you've no hope. What will become of our city? Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo Tenderloins. Get your Dodo Tenderloins. Guaranteed cheapest in Tanaland. Sure-voiced salesman. Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again. So she did buy it. Looking around, you'd think that Ul'dah was well on its way to recovery. But peer through the veil of prosperity, and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. So yeah, Ul'dah is in a complex situation. Really all the way up to Stormblood, this has been a hot topic of debate. Desperate damsel, sir, are you alright? What now? You mean threaten a defenseless citizen? What? You saw her buy that meat, you say? That's absurd! Aye, as did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture. Who said that? I will overlook this, but just this once. Run away! Gods bless you, adventurer. If you hadn't come along when you did, who knows what that monster might have done. It don't bear thinking about. Poor thing. All's well that ends well. Oh, there's Tancred again. We meet again. Pray do not mistake my intent, for it is always honorable. But I have been watching you ever since you departed Ul'dah. You played the part of envoy to perfection, confident as a man on a diplomatic mission should be, yet unfeigningly courteous to your betters, and when your travels led you into the midst of danger, you faced it without so much as a flinch. You, my friend, are quite a marvel, and I confess to being somewhat in awe of you. Ah, but my lavish praises continue. Most of all, I was struck by your readiness to aid those in need, even when words were all the rewards you could expect to receive. Such selflessness is a rare thing in this day and age. All of which leads me to conclude that you are indeed the one whom I have been looking for, an adventurer possessed of a very rare set of qualities. To be sure, your rescue of that damsel in distress was more of a happy accident, but rescue her you did, and that is what matters in the end. I feel I should mention at this point that I also harbor a burning interest in a certain talent of yours. I speak of your visions. You have been experiencing visions, have you not? Well, it just so happened that I know a woman who shares your talent and can help you to understand it. She and I belongs to the same organization, and we should both be delighted beyond words if you would agree to join our cause. Naturally, there are benefits to being part of such a collective. For one, we should be glad to assist you in realizing your potential as an adventurer. You need not give me your answer now. Think upon it, and if you feel moved to help us, as I pray you shall, speak with Momodi, the ever-lovely and youthful mistress of the quicksand. Tell her the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have found their men, and she will tell you where to find us. Scions of the Seventh Dawn, eh? This is gonna be important. Anywho, that's taken care of, so let's go see Momodi. Scenes like that are becoming ever more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry though, if you work hard, you'll probably be alright. Oh, training new people to replace me, is she? Saying that, if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother, come and see me. Just don't go pestering me every time you graze your knee, eh? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with the womenfolk from time to time. She repeats herself, doesn't she? Ah, Kukumo, sorry to keep you waiting. I was just providing guidance to a fresh-off-the-carriage adventurer. But gods, it's good to see you safe and well. To look at you, no one would ever guess that you've been hard at it with giants in the dark. Ugh. I never doubted for a moment that you'd succeed, of course, and neither did Papashan, which ain't to say you won't be overjoyed. Ah, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing her description, I knew who she meant right away. Ah, that's Hida. Thank you for sparing the time. I realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while now. My name is Hida. I'm an adventurer like you, though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with friends in Gridania when... I'm sorry. We were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was Ver, and he and I were to be wed in the spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembered you would be an understatement. He would sing your praises from dawn to dusk. He saw you for what you are, you see, an adventurer's adventurer, and swore that he would like to be... it would be like you one day. I believe that he would have succeeded, had the fiend not robbed him of the chance. Since that day, I have thought long and hard about giving up adventuring. But when I think of the man you are, of all that you've achieved, I find that I am inspired just as Aver once was. And so I've decided to start again as an adventurer. I will go back to the village of my birth and begin my training anew. But I wanted to meet you first, to ask you your name. Kukumo Lalakumo. I shan't forget. Thank you, Kukumo Lalakumo. I pray we will meet again. Fare you well. Venturing can be a cruel, bleeding business. Time was, I didn't know why anyone would bother. When they first asked me to take charge of the guild here, I didn't want aught to do with you lot. Though it'd be a right pain in the arse looking after you all. But against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post. And I'm full glad I did. I feel privileged to be a part of your lives. And that goes double for yours, Kukumo. Eh? What did you say? You want to know about the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? They're beginning to move in earnest, then. Listen, Kukumo, the Scions ain't no ordinary folk, and the work they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but even you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, if you're still certain you want to get involved, I'll tell you what I can. Well, ain't that nice. So, what can we get that would be helpful? Thinking bronze. And that is where we're going to pick up next time. We're actually high enough in level to actually attempt our next gladiator quest, so that is what we're going to do right now. But first, let's return to our inn room and see what we saw in Copperbell. After that, we'll be finishing Malris, and that'll be the end of that. Tanalan, Copperbell Mines. Slaves no more! Free! Free! That's one big mace. Roar! He didn't last long, obviously. That would make a half-decent one, too. Either that or the Mind Flayer, I figure. Yay! Okay, that's taken care of. Let's go see First Sword Mila, then. Ah, the ever-prosperous day jingle of Ul'dah. Oh, then Gladiators Guild. Heya! The face of Tal. First Sword Mila has an urgent task for you. Kukumo, I'm glad you're here. One of our members has been attacked and gravely wounded, and I need you to go help him. I suspect this is the work of more bounty hunters. It may even be a trap to lure more of us into the open. Nevertheless, we cannot ignore our comrade's plight. When last he contacted us by Link Pearl, he said he tried to seek shelter at the Coffer and Coffin. Take this potion and search for him there. Alright. Coffer and Coffin was in central Tanalan. So that's near Blackbrush Station. That name, Lodra Chere. Probably a reference to Celeste's last name. We see a lot of these, basically using the last name of popular Final Fantasy characters for their own. Same for Game of Thrones and whatnot. We also see a lot of Japanese ones. There he is, injured gladiator. Help! Help me! I can feel my potent potion. Thank you, brother. Tal happened so fast. Over by the tracks to the north. I don't know who attacked me, nor why they left me alive, but I dare say the answer is out there. Surely someone saw something. Apparently someone did. Follow the arrow, it will tell you where to go. The fellow outside? I saw him stumble in when I left the bar to take a piss. Was alone, as I recall. You say he's wounded? Thought he was just drunk. So probably a witness in Blackbrush. Strange to see a high-level guy like that other Lalafell around here. You don't get back to Blackbrush very often. Suspicious character? Well, now that you mention it, I did see a strange fellow wearing a garish purple robe. At first I thought he was talking to himself, and then I realized he had a link pearl. I heard him say something about the wrong man and the Silver Bazaar. Does that help? The Silver Bazaar isn't anywhere close. Search the point of ambush for evidence. Time to speak with the injured gladiator again, for whatever reason. Ah, sweet Tanalan. It has its charm, I'll admit. Purple robe? That sounds familiar. Aye, it was him, I'd swear it. Did you find anything else? A scorpion ring. Pick this up by the tracks, eh? Might well have belonged to the bastard. Can't say I've seen its like before. Might be as Wyman could tell you more. You know him, don't you? He's the bespectacled bloke who's always lounging around Emerald Avenue in the city. Of course, being the businessman that he is, he'll probably ask to be compensated in exchange. Show that ring to Wyman. He's sure to know something about it. Okay, back to Ulda. Wyman is close to the main Aetheryte, if I'm not mistaken. I can't be expected to remember where every NPCs are. Can I? Well, idiot. Ah, that's probably the one that leads you to the Gold Saucer. Wyman. Well now, if it ain't Kukumo, everybody's favorite adventurer. I heard you threw your lot in with the gladiators. A questionable decision given the events of recent days. But to each his own. To what do I owe the pleasure? Oi! Put that away before someone sees it. When the seven hells did you get one of those rings? What? Don't you recognize the sigil? Goddamn fool. Before you go stumbling around in the brush, you ought to at least know what kind of venomous bastards will be lurking within. Been a long time since Ulda's seen a criminal organization rise from obscurity to notoriety as quickly as the Alakran word is that they've got connections. As the Alakran word is that they've got connections to the Brassblades, the Syndicate, and God knows who else. But you didn't hear that from me. I want no part of whatever mess you and your mates have gotten yourselves into. Understood? If you say so. Time to report to Mila, then. Mummer's little mummy. I love that pet. Oh, Kukumo, I was wondering when you might return. What news do you bring of our injured comrade? He was attacked by a member of the Alakran. The Alakran? I find that hard to believe, but no matter. One of our comrades returned from Stone Throw moments ago. A gang of bandits is said to be headed for the Silver Bazaar. They're after a man with an enormous bounty on his head. The people living there are in grave danger. In their frenzy to find a quarry, the bandits won't scruple to destroy property and arm the civilians. And the few blast blades stationed there will be powerless to stop them. We must stop them, Kukumo. We'll protect the Silver Bazaar and avenge our injured guildmates. All in one fell swoop. Bit melodramatic, if you ask me. There's Aldous. Aldous, I told you to never come here again. I couldn't sit idly by while you charge into battle against an enemy you know nothing about. Mila, a responsible guildmaster, would never risk the lives of her charges like this. Who are you to lecture me about responsibility? Mila, listen to me. This is the Alakran you're dealing with. So, whatever notoriety they may have achieved means nothing to me. We'll cut them down like the common bandits they are. It's not that simple. More importantly, it's not your fight. What are you saying? They want me, Mila. I've been fending off assassination attempts ever since I returned to Tanland. Just stay here and let me handle this. It'll be over soon, I promise. Just stay here while you go off on your own, is that it? It's been 7 years since I let you leave all this. 7 years. Do you have any idea at all what you put me through? Mila, I don't want to hear it, you selfish bastard. Do you even care about the people who suffered because of you? Just get out. We don't need your help. We'll settle this ourselves. Mila, wait. There's something you need to know. Enough. Get out. Get out. Alright. Say some of that for the Yellow Crown. But do try not to let Kukumo here come to harm while you're at it. Yeah, there's a story there. Doesn't seem to be exactly romance, but might be. So anyway, Western Tanland. There's no easy way to get there. So which gate is that? Step of Nald through Western Tanland. That's Step of Nald. So Gate of Nald, naturally. My neck is getting really sore all of a sudden. And of course it was the wrong gate. Damn it. But forget about it. We're going to Horizon. Now then. There's actually a quest line in the Silver Bazaar if you do the side quest around here. It's actually a rather interesting story. Basically, the bazaar is about to be taken over by... Actually, I forget the details, but somebody... They actually owe money to people, and somebody is trying to do a hostile takeover there. So you help a little lady who's hoping to bring the Silver Bazaar back to its old glory. So yeah, that's the gist of it, basically. Hammerbeaks. Nicely done, Black Mage. Actually, at that level, it's probably a Thaumaturge. Anyhow. Usually a public quest up above here. It's a rare thing when you don't find any. Can't wait to get my Chocobo. All of this walking is killing me. But yeah, pretty much as you would expect, all of the various classes in this have actually got their own storylines for them. Not all of them have much to do with the main storyline, although Dragoon, how can I say, fits in nicely with the narrative of Heavensward. It also serves as an introduction to certain NPCs, while the other ones, well, not so much. Actually, I wonder how they're gonna handle this. What with Shadowbringer sending us to the first? I'm kind of wondering how they're gonna be able to do class quest there. Might be possible that you just wave it away, kinda like they're gonna do with the repairs in Ishgard and whatnot. It's possible that you might be going through the gate back and forth to Eorzea and do your quest with the usual NPCs. They could also introduce entirely new ones, which would be interesting. Who knows? I'm about to max out my rested experience too. That's annoying. Rain never ran out throughout the entirety of Stormblood. There you are, Kukumo. Everyone's already in position. Are you prepared? Sure am. Ah, that's Kikipu. That's her. The lady who's trying to save the Silver Bazaar. There they are. Charity of the Alacron. Diligence of the Alacron. Stay focused. Choose your target and finish him. Alright. Oh, they're with Mila. She'll be fine. She's actually tanking them all. Kind of a beast, ain't she? You take that blade to the back, bandits. They never learn. Oh, more of them. Wonderful. Kindness of the Alacran? I think not. Conjurers are the greater threat. The others can wait. Kindness of the Alacran. There. Ow! Little bastard. He used a fluid aura on me. But yeah, words to live by. Attack the healer first. Hey, try not to get too far ahead, guys. Thaumaturges. I've always hated mages. That's her saying that, not me. I'm a black mage, and proud to be. Although technically maining a white mage, but that's neither here nor there. Finish them before they can cast again. Well, I did. You're just slow, Mila. So one of them is a veteran gladiator, and a Rogadin too. Interesting. And that's it for you. Duty complete. Huh! Rejoice, gladiators, for the day is ours! Well, now what? Hmm? What? But why would you be? Leave him to us, First Sorn. Unbloodied gladiator. Bad idea. No, stop! Such brittle blades, so easily broken. Perhaps the first sword is made of stronger steel. Leave her, Zana. Our business here is over. So he was just making a show then. Eh. And one of those blades that looks suspiciously like the one Aldous got. What? What have you done, Leovold? First Sword, we must withdraw. The wounded need standing. Let us take them back to the guild. She doesn't sound pleased. Oh man, we've dropped so many frames in this. Wow. Must be having a bad night with my Wi-Fi and whatnot. But that's neither here nor there. Back to Ulda. Well, basically we've got one or two quests left before we actually finish the Gladiator storyline. After that we'll be starting the Paladin one. So that should be interesting. Strangely, for being a gladiators guild that's heavily involved with the blood sands, we don't do a lot of gladiatoring, wouldn't you say? Anyway. Let's speak with the boss lady. Give me a moment, Kukumo. I need to think. I wanted to spare you this, Mila. I beg you not to go. You knew all this. That Leovold had. Leovold and I once fought side by side in the Colosseum. Twin Swords of Naltal, they called us. Never lost a match. Honored by the Bull of Alamigo himself. That's Laraban. But that was then, and this is now. When I learned Leovold single-handedly transformed the Alacran from a gang of common thieves into the most feared criminal organization in Tanalan, I knew I had to return. It seems like a lifetime ago that the three of us used to train together in this hall. The Leovold, I knew would never stoop so low. He was a good man, strong and true, and what would drive him to do this? When I find him, I'll be sure to ask. Unfortunately, he seems determined to kill me for my curiosity. What aren't you telling me, Aldous? I'm not clever enough to keep secrets, my dear. I'm a simple man, and capable of dealing with what's right in front of me. Is that so? I'll find him, Mila. I promise. See ya. And we get a new sword, the Carnage Sword, and a new shield, which is fairly similar to what the Storm Torches are using, among others. We've got a new helmet that's actually better than what we've got. That's one longing look if I've ever seen any, but that's beside the point. Yeah, that's better than those swords I got. Okay, equip that shield. With better block rate to boot. Don't I look handsome now? But anyway. So that is done. So now all that's left is to finish Malris, if you'll give me a second. There we are. Let's just hope it doesn't crash or anything. So anyway. I was there, so I'm using Raging Water. We've already done Shell, so we can probably have Elara heal up. Onion Knight can do the usual. Bart will use Engulfing Strike. Good job, Yuffie. Shellk is gonna rat to be able to entrust Yuffie when the time is right. But yeah, the farming those matches actually gets rather boring after a while. I did Kraken so many times that I got a little cranky, shall we say. Anywho. Starting to deal a half-decent amount of damage. Usually she doesn't deal that much with Raging Water. She might have critted a little more than... Oh yeah, that's because of the glint that boosts the damage of ninja abilities, that's right. Puraga. We're still okay for another one. We are at 22 seconds, which means that we'll probably not be doing sub 30, unfortunately. Even with Yuffie going all out with her big moves, I don't see that happening. Although Legend Diving her seems to work really well here for whatever reason. Savage Firaga. Okay, now I think is in as good time as any to do Clear as Tranquil. And trust her. Elara is helping out too, so that's helpful. And bam! Strangely enough, dealing about as much damage as Raging Water, but that's not why I used it. Chosen Traveler. To get our follow-up move back up. Savage Flame Slash. Wow. Seems like our protect guy is about to run out. I'll need only a night to work. Chosen Traveler. It's really a good thing that I got that relic quite a while back. That Ultra Soul Break for Barts has really been a workhorse in my strategies for the most part. And Yuffie goes for the kill. Actually, she wants Finisher, but she'll deal a fair bit of damage. 32k isn't nothing to scoff at. Although if I had some sort of relic that gave her End Water, then I would be in really great shape. But that is not the case, unfortunately. Also, the fact that the power of Bart's follow-up attack is fairly random, so sometimes I get unlucky. But them's the breaks, kids. Raging Water. We're missing a few. Ouchies. Doesn't matter, she's gonna go clear us Tranquil and we'll be right back to where we were. So Bart's gonna use Light of the Four to get us a few more attacks. Also, the fact that we've got Elara's regen guy helping us. Doubt I'm gonna beat my record here, though. Which is annoying. Anywho. Okay, clear as Tranquil. Oh. That'll help Shelka as well. That's good. Should probably have used the Shelga too, but meh. See? Nothing to it. Alright, Bart. We should be nearly done here. 8-strike barrage. Wonderful. Yeah, not quite enough. But we were close, though. Savage Flame Slash. Ouchies. She doesn't hit that hard, usually. Strange. Probably because it's a magical attack of some sort. Didn't seem like it at first, but... Oh, and I've lost Shelka too. That never happens usually. Wow. Oh, that's right. I didn't refresh my... my shield from the... Can I say? The roaming warrior. And I've died. That can happen, unfortunately. Now, usually I can finish this by doing it right, but this didn't happen this time around. Well. So, I hope you guys had good fun making fun of me here, and that's gonna be it for the time being. Thank you for watching, everyone. That was the Great Pumpkin. You all have a pleasant time now. Bye-bye!